The Pixel 8a is a phone that can be better than any phone in its price range, only at times.
Now, at the time of me making this video, the Pixel 8 has dropped its price to $550, which basically means that you're getting an upgraded version of the 8a for only $50 more, which is an absolute steal. The Pixel 8 has a better display, more durable hardware, gives a slightly better experience, and it's just a better phone that you can get for around the same price. So it's kind of a no-brainer for most people to skip over the Pixel 8a. And don't get me wrong, the Pixel 8a is an amazing phone that has made the right upgrades in all the right places in order to be considered the best non-flagship phone. But I really do feel like Google needs an extra reason for people to consider it or create a better strategy to push it over the edge. See, Google put themselves in a pretty difficult situation. Every single year, Pixel phones are notorious for going on sale very frequently, and this includes top tier Pixels like the Pixel 8 Pro and even the Pixel 8, and as they should. The Pixel is still building a name within the mainstream, and they want to compete with top tier brands like Apple and Samsung, so they really should be giving their phones the edge over Galaxies and iPhones that don't really go on sale as often. And while this is a great strategy for Google and this is very normal, I think it makes it even more awkward in other ways since the A series usually is released 6 to 8 months after. So by the time these phones are ready to go on sale, the Pixel 8a is coming with a very similar price and very similar specs, which ultimately will result in it being overlooked. And mind you, these phones are released damn near a year after the A series comes out, so sales are often messed up between the two top tier phones and a budget phone that just came out.
So Google really needs to change up their schedule and make the release closer to the Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro, or they can make it cheaper to make it less comparable to the Pixel 8 when that goes on sale.
And you guys may be sitting at home thinking, why the f is he talking about Google? If I'm not someone who works at Google, why would I be talking about Pixel release schedules and what they should do to benefit their company?
Well, the reason as to why I believe that I should voice my opinion on whether or not the scheduling is bad is because it confuses us, the consumers. And not only that, but it makes it even more complicated when I try to recommend you guys a certain Pixel phone.
Again, at the time of me making this video, the Pixel 8 is around $550, so it would make sense for me to recommend you that, right? Well, to be honest, it all really depends on when you watch this video. Yeah, right now is a great time to buy the Pixel 8, but you might watch this video a month later for the first time and get pretty disappointed that I'm recommending you a phone that is back at full price. At the end of the day, I feel like it's a privilege to be able to test out phones and recommend which one that I think is the best based on your budget, needs, and wants. And I feel like the most important part is making it as clear as possible, which would definitely help whenever I'm recommending a budget Pixel phone. And despite my feelings towards the Pixel 8a, I still wanted to show you guys why it's a really good phone that is often misunderstood due to its pretty strange politics.
Now, the Pixel 8 and Pixel 8a are extremely similar in many ways, but when it comes to display, they are damn near Siamese twins.
Of course, the only difference is that the bezels on the Pixel 8a are a bit bigger, but I think that when it comes to resolution, sharpness, and the overall viewing experience, these phones are exactly the same in many ways. The 8a has a 1080p display that I had no problems with. I got used to the bigger bezels pretty quickly, and I think that once you get past them, this is easily the best display for a phone of this price. The colors are punchy, the display is a perfect size, and it was the best for scrolling on social media and watching YouTube videos. And speaking of scrolling, the refresh rate is 90 Hz, which will result in a much faster and more fluid feel. It's not 120 Hz fast like the Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro, but it is 30 Hz faster than the iPhone 15, which is only at 60 Hz. The fingerprint sensor is slightly better than even the Pixel 8 Pro, which is a more quality Pixel phone. Of course, Google had more time to correct it, but the fact that they improved on it is a clear indication that they are headed in the right direction. The facial recognition was still extremely subpar. It works very well in the daytime and everything is perfect, but when it comes to nighttime, or even when my head isn't perfectly turned to a certain angle, it'll more than likely mess up. Brightness is another impressive feat that the 8a was able to accomplish. It now has 2000 nits peak, which will not only let you be able to see very well no matter how bright it is outside, but it also has the same peak nits as the more expensive phones like the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now in terms of look and feel, I think that the Pixel 8a is not only one of the best in its price range, but also in the smartphone market. I love the matte ice back, it feels really smooth, is less prone to fingerprints, and I have the white version so it hides fingerprints even better. Even looking at it side by side with a top tier Pixel, it's basically a mini Pixel 8 Pro with a few minor differences. The 8A is a little bit more rounder, and the camera bar is a little bit more simplistic. And I also like how it fits really nice in my hand, so it's not only more comfortable to hold, but it also helps me maintain a decent grip to not drop it.
So what if I drop it? Well, if you drop the Pixel 8A, depending on the surface, it should be just fine.
It has a Gorilla Glass 3 build, which is extremely durable if you drop it on hardwood, but it will be more fragile if you drop it on concrete like any other phone in the market. It's also IP68 dust and water resistant, so it will be good if you drop your phone in water or take it to the beach. 1.5 meters for up to 30 minutes is really good, especially if you have kids or you're often surrounded by water. The 6.1 inch size is perfect for use and mobility. The 8A fit in my pocket seamlessly. It was very easy to grab and reach to the top of the screen, and the viewing experience was still big enough for me to enjoy, which is why I think that the 6.1 inch size is really good. Now, unlike the Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro, performance was something that the Pixel 8A got right out of the gate. The Tensor G3 chip was not only extremely fast, but I also love the fact that I could play any game that I wanted with little to no problems. I ran it on the highest settings possible, and as you guys can see, there's little to no lag. The frame rate was really consistent, and whenever I plugged it in and connected my controller, I had fun for hours. Even middle of the pack power games like Asphalt 9 ran really well. I always love testing out this game on phones because not only does it show the frame rate for a more clear perspective, but it also really tests out the processing chip. Besides that though, gaming, searching, scrolling, and doing all the basic things that I need to do without lag is always a plus. Even having a bunch of apps open, the Pixel 8A handled everything very well and has been remaining consistent. Battery life was very comparable to the Pixel 8. I would do pretty simple things like game, be on Google Meet with my girlfriend, and I spent most of my time scrolling through social media, so I was really getting some good usage. At first, I wasn't lasting all day, but after a few weeks, the Pixel 8A learned my usage patterns, and now I'm able to last for a majority of the day. And one thing that I've always loved about Pixels is that the battery always gets better over time. There are times where I charge my phone twice, and this is when I do more gaming, but whenever I'm not gaming, I only charge my phone once, and it usually lasts up until 6 to 7 p.m. The charging is a bit slow, but I won't make a big deal out of it since this phone is a cheaper price. During my use with the Pixel 8A, I would always have my 5G on. I never use power saving mode. I would always have my brightness on medium to high, and I never tried to save my battery in any way during my use with the Pixel 8A. Now, all the intelligence within a Pixel is still instilled in the 8A, the ability to do anything in terms of photo and video editing, the insanely smart features like the Pixel 8A being able to tell you what a song is without you having to ask, the ability to get the best of the best speech to text, and even new features like circle to search. Everything that intrigues you about how smart the Pixel can be, the Pixel 8A has all these things despite being the quote-unquote budget version. Now for a second, let's forget about the specs, superior complex, and even the looks. Despite the Pixel 8A being one of the cheapest in the Pixel lineup, you'd be surprised at just how good it is compared to the Pixel 8 Pro. Giving a side-by-side comparison, the Pixel 8A maintained Google's reputation for providing arguably the best selfies in the smartphone market. My skin color was very accurate. Portrait mode did wonders, and as you can see, it looks identical to top tier phones. Everyday photos were no different. Contrast was really good while giving a kick to real life, but still maintaining that realistic factor. There were many different things that I was able to do with editing, and the 64 megapixel main was able to produce some really good photos. Night photos were toned down a bit when compared to my 8 Pro, but they were easily the best in their price range. The added lighting was superb, the sharpness was still there, and it was able to give great results even in pitch black settings. Videos were middle of the pack. I got a lot of great yet trash moments with it, and just like the Pixel 8 Pro and Pixel 8, it really struggled with good consistency.
And there it is, you guys, my review on the Pixel 8A.
The Pixel 8A is a really good phone that has done everything very well. It has made all the necessary upgrades, it can compete with phones at a higher budget, and it keeps the core Pixel factors while still being at a cheaper price. But the only problem with the Pixel 8A is that it's a victim of circumstance. Poor planning, a poor release schedule, and it often finds itself competing with the Pixel 8 despite being meant to be the best in its own league. So depending on what time you view this video, of course I will recommend the Pixel 8A, but I will also recommend that you go to google.com, type in Google Pixel 8, and see if it's on sale for around the same price. And despite all the tough circumstances that the 8A had to face, I think that with better strategies from Google, the Pixel 8A has the potential to be undoubtedly the best and most premium phone for anyone who is looking to ball out on a budget. Peace.
Now, my dear.